Alright, so we got the first planet set up. We got really confused when setting it up, so instead of making you watch that, we're just going to set up the second planet. So we could just go to Neocom menu. We already placed down the planet, right? We could go to, where is it? Industry, planetary production. So this shows all of your planets that you have installed. So this one's extracting aqueous liquids and it's creating water required for superconductors, coolant, water-cooled CPU test. Oh, I thought water was just for the stations. Maybe it was for other things too. So, bring corresponding command center. So we could actually make a third one. Interesting. So if we go click on this planet, maybe right click on it, view planetary production. So as long as we're in the solar system, we should be able to change things on here. It's actually docked up at the station. We docked up at one of the stations just so we don't get blown up while we're doing this. But we could go to the scan. We could scan for aqueous liquids. We placed our command center down here. So now we're gonna have to build a. The very first thing you want is a launch pad. So you want to put the launch pad over here. So maybe over here. Maybe we just won't use the command center this time. You cannot construct on them. So we're at dangerous overload. That's right. You had to click on the command center. The very first thing you do when you place it is upgrade the command center. So it's going to cost 1.5 million, but it'll allow you to actually build things on your planet. So we could submit that. Now we could build the temperate launch pad. So we could build a launch pad over here and just try to make it as close to the thing as possible. So we could cancel that and just try to place it like a millimeter closer or something, as close to the launch pad as you can absolutely make it. So there we go. Now we could create a link here, right? Create link, click on the launch pad, click on the command center, submit. So now there's a link. We have a launch pad placed. That cost us like 1 million. Now we could put a temperate extractor control unit here. So we just put it right next to the launch pad. Then we could submit. And then we could create a link from the extraction unit to the launch pad and then do that. So we did need some basic industry factories. So maybe we could just place like one, just place 4 for now, and then figure out how many you need later. So we play 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we could just create links between all of them. So you just click the create link button, click on your one factory, your other factory, and then link together your factory with your spaceport, and then these factories here. So when you click on it, it's going to create a line, I guess. It's asking you how you wanted to connect your facilities up. So all of these are connected now. They all have roads. Maybe it's just like road building. It's in the extraction head. Program not active. Want to install extraction program. So let's just start with like 5, 6. Maybe 6 of them is good for now. We're getting aqueous liquids, so we can set it to, we'll just set it for 2 days for now. Like 1 day would be the optimal thing to do, but I don't think we're going to be checking it every day. And then we could also change it. We could come back and then reset it anytime we want. So we just want to try to put these where the highest number would be. So 133 looks like around over here. This one's like 135. Oh, it's higher over here. So these numbers over here, you're just trying to get as high as possible. And then you don't want to overlap them because they're going to start getting penalties. Oh, whoops. Okay, so it's highlighted whichever one we're moving. So we could probably try to move these all to somewhere around like 134 or something. Somewhere around that. 134. There we go. So they're all around like 134. So then we could start extraction. So now they're extracting resources. So now we have to route the resources. So we could go routing, we could go routes, or we could go products, aqueous liquids, create a route to the spaceport, create route. So then if we go to routes, it would say quantity. So all of the aqueous liquids are going to the spaceport now. Perfect. So this is better than the first factory we set up. So now what we want to do is click on the spaceport, and I think we want to go routes. Maybe storage. Yeah, we would go routes. Okay, aqueous liquids incoming. So we have all of these liquids incoming into the spaceport, which is basically our storage facility. So we want to create... Oh, I think we have to go to the factories first. So you have to click on the factories, and then we could make some more factories. So maybe we'll just make six basic factories here. So just place one right there, place one right there. That'll work. And then we gotta create the links from the factories to the rest of the roads so they're linked with everybody. And then we just have to click on the factories and tell them what they're making. So say that we want this factory to make water. Then we click on this factory. Say you want to make water. Temporary factory facility. So it is still a bit confusing. We're still trying to figure things out here. So you want to install the water blueprint and then select the route or something. Click on that, create route. Okay, so it's just trying to save you time by telling you to create the route. So now we say water create route to the spaceport. Alright, so I think we figured it out a bit better. So now we know all we have to do is click on the factory, choose water, install, and then we choose the route we want. We want to route it back to the space pad. So basically the water is going to be going into the space pad and then into the factory and then back to the space pad once it's been refined. Alright, so just click on the factory, install, create the route to the spaceport. Click on the other factory, install the water, create the route to the spaceport. There we go. Now all the factories are set up, except that we need to route water to the factories. So we have to click on the spaceport and go routes. Incoming aqueous liquids, create route to the factory. Alright, there we go. Then we click on the spaceport and then routes and go incoming, create route to the other factory, create a route. Amazing, we figured it out. So then we go routes, incoming aqueous liquids to the other factory, create a route there. And then we have to see how many we have. So we could have up to like 10 factories, but then our extraction is going to be going down. So I guess all we have to do now is just create the routes of the liquids to the other factories. So we just need to make one more route. Create route. Submit. So now all of our factories are producing things. Yeah, if we go look here, it's going to say they're extracting water, and then they're producing, well, they're extracting liquids, and then they're producing water. And if we go look at our other factory, maybe we could fix up other planet or something, but now everything's making water, and we just have to come back to this planet later to throw the water into space and then go collect it and then bring it to a station to sell. So I think if we click on this station, we can click on view to view it. So this is the one that we were first trying to do. I think we made mistakes with it, right? But it is kind of set up. We got 5 factories. We got a bunch of extraction heads. I think we have more extraction heads on here, right? We have 1 extra extraction head. So let's take 1 extraction head off. So stop extraction. Then we get rid of one of those, and then maybe we could build a basic industry. You cannot construct another one. It would overload the circuits. Alright. How many is coming in here? What if we take another one off then? Then we can maybe build another factory. Alright, and if we create a link like this one, like we did the other things to link the factory, there we go. And then we want you to start extracting again. Install extraction, aqueous liquids. We already set them up on this planet, so start extraction. Average per hour, 43,000. So that's really good. Submit. Then we just need to create one route over here. So we need to delete all of our routes or something. So we just routed them directly to the factories and then to the spaceport. But then where are the other ones gonna go? So products, we could go routed. All routed. They can't be all routed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still extraction program running 2 days. You should be extracting 23,000 per hour. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's only 3 factories. So we're gonna have to get rid of this factory, decommission the factory. We're gonna have to get another extraction head. Stall extraction. Available in 12 seconds. So in 12 seconds we could change it then. So I guess the planet, you're going to have to figure out what you're doing. So maybe we'll just end the clip. We'll come back after we figured everything out and the planets are all set up. So here's planetary production. Eventually we'll be able to come back and get resources from them. Here maybe we'll record this because we're just changing it, right? There's all of our stuff that's being routed, so we could delete the route. And then we don't have anything being routed here. So now we could say click on the extraction unit. Stall extraction, because we wanted to stop the extraction. So it looks like he has a 1-minute cooldown or something. So if we just install 2 more heads then we'll be with extracting more. And then I guess that won't really matter. We could only put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factories on this planet. So now we can set it to 2 days. That's just fine. And then those are overlapping somewhere right here. So there we go. All of our extraction heads are extracting around like 140. So we could start extraction. Now we just have to create the routes. So we go routes, we go products, aqueous liquids, create a route to the spaceport. So now all the liquids are being routed to the spaceport. Okay. So now I would click on the spaceport and then it would say routes or incoming. Create a route to this factory, create route. Perfect. So now we're fixing up this one that we just messed up when we first learned everything. Create route. Routes, aqueous liquids, create route. So you could change things later, right? If you come back to your planet, you could change the routes and destroy the factories, and you could add more extraction heads. Like if you leveled up your planetary interaction or something. So all we did was just routed all of the liquids to the spaceport, I believe. Yeah. And then the liquids are going to the factories. And then the waters, we already routed them back to the spaceport. So if we were to click on like one of the edge ones, I guess, go to routes, it would say aqueous liquids is now incoming. Water is now outgoing. And then if we look at our so how do we click on here? Okay, that would show all of our power, all of our CPU. Build cost, power load 700, CPU 1300. So we're gonna have to upgrade our skills to be able to build more things. But there we go. There's our planets. So now if we go to planetary interaction, everything is set up in industry, planetary production. Here's our 2 planets. Everything is working amazingly. So we're looking at this planet, and then we can view planetary production. Later, we could actually come to our spaceport, and then our spaceport will have items in it, and then we'll be able to collect them. So these are going to be running for 2 days. Bring a corresponding command center to any planet. So it looks like we could actually make a 3rd planet. So just like we did this, maybe we'll look around for a 3rd planet, and then we have to find a command center. But essentially, we could make up to 3 with only level 2, because here's our skills, right? So you need amazing planetary management to even start learning about planetary management, but our skills are only level 2 command center upgrades, level 2 remote sensing, level 2 interplanetary consolidation. It might not be the most optimal or the best way, or you're not going to get the most ISK per hour, but you learned how to put these command centers on the planets. You learned how to extract the resources from them. You learned how to create factories and turn level 1 resources into level 2 resources, and then put them in your spaceport, and then later you're just gonna have to come back and pick them up, right? So here's how you would pick them up. I guess we should do that. So if we were to undock from the station. Alright, so now we undock from the station. So now if we would go to Neocom or go to industry, industry and planetary production, this window would pop up. You could say, go to the customs office. You'd say, warp within 0 kilometers of the customs office. No, same with this one, right? warp within customs office. So you would just be able to select it here. Then you'd warp within the customs office. Then you'd go access the customs office. Then you go loot your things. Then bring them back to the station. You can see if there's any one jump away. So there is planetary places one jump away. And they don't all have to be in the same solar system. You could probably put them in other ones, but it probably would be beneficial to get them all in the solar system if there is any. So then here's the customs office. We just warped to it, right? We right-clicked here on a customs office, warped to within 0 kilometers. And then we would go, well, I think you could access the customs office without being far, right? Customs office, access customs office. Does it show you what's in it? Oh, yeah, because on your planet you're going to have to launch all the items up to the customs office. Essentially, you just drive up to the customs office, you would access it, and then you would throw all the stuff in your inventory, right? You'd open your ship's cargo hold, and then all of your items you produced, you'd drag them to your ship's cargo hold, and then you'd go dock at the station and then put them in the station. But considering we're probably going to be looking for another planet here, we could actually right-click on the system information, show info, and then we could look at all the planets, see if there's a third planet that we wanted to set up here. Alright, so we just jumped one jump over to a station that was selling all the command centers, right? Because all the command centers, apparently those are all sold by the game itself too. So if you find a station with 277 of them, just go there. If it's nearby, then you could buy all the command centers you want. So let's buy one barren command center, because we're gonna put another station on this barren planet that we found in the same system. So we just had to set destination. So we already did set the destination. We said set destination to the system with our planets. Because we could go, well, yeah, let's go to this planet because the radius is small. It's 4,860. So we were thinking about this ice planet here. This ice one we seen, we were looking at it, we're like, view planetary info. We're like, cool, it has 51% water. But then you look at the information, the radius is like 23,000. So then if you actually click on aqueous liquids and scan the planet, it's all going to be spread absolutely everywhere because the planet is so big. And I think same for that 66% planet that we were looking at, right? The planetary production. Well, that would be Peoples and Places, the one that we saved. 66% water, temperate. Show info. View planetary production. So this one does have 66% water in it in a high security system. Probably absolutely insane. There's a big huge red spot. But this planet radius is like 67,000 kilometers. So maybe the water would make up for it because you'd be extracting more, but we're not sure. We're just going to go to the barren system. So we're gonna put all 3 command sensors. We didn't put it inside. We didn't put it inside our ship. We didn't put it in our cargo hold, did we? No. So we have to dock up. Make sure you put your command center inside your ship's cargo hold. Alright, so we just arrived in the system. We actually warped to the planet that we're going to be putting things on. So we were down here, we're looking, because if you look at the other barren planets, because we're trying to compare them, right? Planet's barren, we're looking for carbon compounds, 24%, so this one's not too good. If you go to view planetary production on this one, looking carbon compounds, 23%, basically the same. Same with the other ones, they're all pretty low too, right? So then we're looking at lava, view planetary production. Maybe one of these would be good, but and then we were going down the temperate ones. If you were to view planetary production of these, you already set up command centers here, so it just zooms into your command centers. We could see the factories. No, they aren't making anything yet. We go view planetary information on the other temperate planet. Then it would show you everything. So that's probably the percentage. So that's how close it is to extracting a full cycle, and then it'll put them into the spaceport, and then your factories will start producing everything. So then if we go to view planetary production in the gas one, say that produces different resources. So we were going down here, the ice one, it showed it had a whole bunch of water, right? But the planet was way too big, so we didn't want to settle on here. And then we seen, well, we looked at this planet too. It looked like it was pretty decent. It has a lot of water, it has a lot of heavy metals, but then it has the same problem. Oh, it's only 10,000. So maybe this one wouldn't be too bad for heavy metals or aqueous liquids. Though the Earth ones are better because our scan radius showed that there was a big, huge white spot, which means that's where there's tons of resources. So we were doing ours on the barren planet, right? View barren planet. I thought we warped. I warped to this planet. Carbon compounds was 33%. So we were going to set up an extraction point for these water extracting. Looks like there's a red spot right there. So this would be the best spot to go. So you could also change your resolution. So let's check the customs office. What's the tax rate on this place? Oh, 14.9%. Alright, so this system's alright. The system's alright. It's not crazy. 20% and 25%, 30%. So now we could build the Barren Command Center. We just throw it right down here. I guess this would be a pretty decent place to put it. Submit. So you could also go to scan, and then you could change this bar up or down, so you could actually probably get a better picture for the harder to pick up resources, right? Because you could go like this, and then it would show that they're absolutely everywhere. But then if you do a more accurate scan, it would show that maybe right there would be the best place. Because there literally isn't any other place on the planet like that. So we're just gonna stay right here. So you could move these. If you're searching for things like there's low amount of resources, you're gonna have to do this. Or if there's a high amount, you're gonna have to lower it to get a more accurate picture of where everything is. So you'd see, I'll just leave it right when it turns extremely white. So we'll say that looks pretty cool. That's where we want to build our factories and everything. So we built that. We want to build the launch pad again. So we're gonna have to go zoom in. So we'll just do this last planet here. So we just build a launch pad. Oh, you cannot construct another one because we have to upgrade the facility first, right? Upgrade your command center. Upgrade. So we can have 3 different planets. So we can just put the spaceport here. So the command center doesn't really matter too much, right? So we just want a basic industry. We'll just try putting 5 for now, and then we'll see how much we have. There's like 1, 2. So it doesn't actually matter where you put them too much, right? You could put them anywhere, just as long as they're close to the next thing beside it. Like 5. Then we'll put an extractor control unit to start extracting resources from the planet. And then we could create all of the links between everything. So we create the link from that factory, from this factory to the spaceport, to this factory to this one, and then this factory to the spaceport. So these are like all the roads are made between the factories and the spaceports. I think that's essentially what it's doing. You're just creating roads between the places. So we could submit that. And then we can start extracting. So go install extraction program just to see what was here. We're looking for carbon compounds. So we just set it for like 2 hours or 2 days like we were doing. If you wanted it to be optimal, you could set it to 1 day and then just come back and check every day. You don't even have to wait until the day is over. You could do it before the day is over. So it took up all that power. So considering we're probably actually going to be getting less resources here because it's not 50% like the water one. And that we had to scan in a bit more to even get a good picture of everything. So you just move them, make sure they're not colliding with each other. It should be pretty decent extraction rates, I guess. 16,000 per hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. So we could put another extraction head, and probably even another one, I guess, because we're not going to be making another factory. We're just going to be extracting a lot, because we're extracting a lot less than we did on the other planet. So we can start the extraction for the carbon compound for 2 days. Now all the resources are extracting. Submit. Alright. And then we just have to create the job. So we could go here. We know we were making water on the other planet, which needed aqueous liquids. This one, we're making something that requires a thing that we're extracting: suspended plasma, noble gas. So these are all the tier one things you make off the different planets. You need to get all the different resources and then change them into these. So carbon compounds, biofuels. So we are making biofuels. So we install the, we had to route it to the factory, create route. That's right, they automatically do that for you. Amazing. So we click on the factory, we're making biofuels, it saves it, install, and then click on the spaceport to create the route. Perfect. So before, we didn't really remember too much about the bits, but apparently now we do remember everything. And create the route, click on the factory, install, create the route. So there's other types of planets. You could just have 100% factory planets, but we're not going to worry about those, because those, you're going to need startup capital, right? So now we click on the extraction thing. We can go products. It's extracting carbon compounds. Create a route to the spaceport. Create route. Submit. And then we could go to the spaceport. We could go routes. All the biofuels are incoming from the other factories when they're being made. So we go carbon compounds, create a route, and then we just create routes to all the factories, delivering more carbon compounds. Why it's not letting us do? Oh, because it was up here. So you just create a route to all your factories. So all your factories turn orange then. Let me just go routes and then just create another route. Just until all of your factories are completely full of all the resources that you're extracting from the planets. Create route. And we just needed one more route, right? Create route to the final factory. And then we could submit. So now this planet is also self-sufficient. So we got 2 planets extracting water and 2 planets extracting biofuels, I guess. Well, it extracts carbon compounds and then turns them into biofuels. The other one, it extracts aqueous liquids and then it turns them into water. So now if we go to industry, we go to planetary production, we can see we have 3 planets. We have a temperate planet making aqueous liquids into water for us. And then same with the second planet. Our third planet's extracting carbon compounds and turning it into biofuels. So whatever you're extracting from the planet, basically you would want to turn it into this resource because it weighs less, right? You're gonna have to make less trips to the planet to pick up your resources. Plus the export tax is gonna be better because you're gonna be exporting less products because the weight's gonna go down. Because aqueous liquids by itself weighs quite a bit, but refined into water it weighs less. And then same with these, the carbon compounds, they weigh a lot by themselves, but if you refine them just once, turn into these, and then maybe we could even split up the extraction points to make other things. If there's the same resources on the planet, right, we could even extract one resource one day and then extract a resource another day and then make advanced factories or do something, as long as you're just trying to figure out things about here. But there we go. If you ever want to check up on your planets, you just go Neocom, Industry, Planetary Production, and then there's all of your planets. So now we set up some planets. We could upgrade our skills to get some more planets unlocked if we want, but I think we're doing all right. So we go skills, planetary management. These are your planetary management skills. So if we go all skills, maybe there is some more. Increase the resolution of resource data when scanning, so it makes scanning more accurate. Cool, and that helps you scan them better. This allows you to put another command center. Yeah, and this allows you to upgrade your command center more, and this allows you to scan things from farther away. Amazing. Planetary interaction. Now, those are just extracting things from the planets and we don't have to do anything. Now let's maybe go scanning or something. Try something else in the game. So these can just sit here forever. We could go set destination back to the MR6, our home station. Because this is basically where our Drake is, where our carousel is, where all of our transport ships are, where our destroyer is, where our herons are. So let's go fly back there, then we'll come back there, and then maybe we could fly around in the heron or something and try scanning down some sites. But for now, we don't even have to worry about these planets. They're just gonna make money for us without us. Well, we're gonna have to check every 2 days and view the planet, right? Because you're gonna have to come back to the planet, go here, you're going to have to view planetary production. And I think maybe you're gonna have to go to the spaceport, and then you might have to click on launch. And then if there's anything in here, then you would drag it from here over to the customs office. That's where you drag your water. And I think the extraction head, you'd have to click on this thing. So when this thing stops extracting, or when you want to come back to reset it, you go install extraction program, and then you'd stop it. And then maybe you'd move these heads around if the hotspot has moved, because it does move on the planet. It'll be here one day, and then it'll be somewhere else the next day. It'll be shifted like north a little bit, and then it'll keep shifting north until it's out of your range. So maybe you find something else then, or maybe move the command center. But there we go, you come check up on these anytime. So let's go back to the home station. So it's pretty sick. You don't even need the skills, but you won't make any money. But that's not the point. The point is you're doing things in EVE Online that try to try to explore everything. This thing, cool, we're extracting things from planets. It's absolutely amazing.